Greetings. My name is Sean Carly Krige, 10th or 11th generation to the first South African Krige, Willem Adolf, descendant of the Feudalist branch or Tuck, eldest son to Luke and Maureen Krige, husband to Deneen, and proud father to Tristan, Connor, and Isabella. I have elected to make this shortish video of the formulation of this updated and personalized Krige family coat of arms in the interests of promoting the concept of displaying one's unique heritage at both a historical level but also at an individual family level. In this way, I believe heritage is both historical and current, in that we are somewhat a byproduct of those who have gone before us and some part a product of ourselves. And so it should be with the coat of arms, I believe. That is representative of our past, but equally representative of our present and even our intended future. It would, however, be remiss of me not to add that being a South African in particular, and a white South African specifically, the issue of heritage is often associated with mixed emotions and ideas. That is, as someone clearly with European origins, what place and part do I allocate to my land of origin, to my land of birth, and of course to my land of life, knowing very well that as much as I love the Springbok rugby team or admire the Protea cricket team, they do not, and indeed they cannot, constitute my South African heritage. And so with all of this in mind, as both the basis and motivation of our family coat of arms or badge, I will start by providing a brief overview of the badge from a colors and items perspective, and thereafter I'll delve into a more detailed analysis using the 7, in this case, key elements that constitute our coat of arms, including the associated application for the Kali Kriges. The swords on your left and cosmos flowers on the right represent Deneen and I as individuals in God's kingdom, as represented by the dark or royal purple badge, and then as a married couple and family within South Africa, which we'll get into in a moment. The Ferrari red colouring, symbolic of passion, draws attention to the coat of arms origin and purpose statement. The coat of arms centerpiece includes a picture of South Africa overlaying the purple badge of the kingdom. Overlaying that is a rooted tree that is broken through rocks and date stamped 2007. The first layer border of the kingdom badge includes emerald green for Sean's Irish heritage and black, red and yellow for both Sean and Deneen's German heritage. The silver border outside of that symbolizes purity and encases the pictures on the left and the right. The outer border on your left is gold in color and represents great worth and is linked to the 3 picture values, being that of a book, an athlete, and a person pushing a very heavy object up a hill. The outer border color of navy blue on the right represents freedom and is linked to the 3 picture virtues, being a person walking on water, a dove with an olive branch in its mouth, and a heart. The Christian cross of Jesus' passion connects the centerpiece with both the coat of arms foundation and mission. Now these next set of slides unpacks each of the 7 different coat of arms elements, starting with origins and purpose, followed by values and virtues, and ending with vision, foundations, and mission. Under origins, which is defined as the family tree roots sourced and dated, including associated colors represented in the coat of arms. From a personal perspective, Willem Adolf Krige arrived from Germany in South Africa in 1721 and first lived and worked on the wine farm Boschendal in the Stellenbosch district. 5 years later, he had married the farm owner's daughter, a de Villiers, and they would have 2 sons, who would give birth eventually to the 12 Krige tucks or branches we know today. Hence the dating of since 1721. The purpose can be defined as the family purpose as derived from the family vision, which we'll touch on in a moment. From a personal perspective, the concept of ambassadorship has always appealed to me, and specifically is something that God has stirred in our hearts relating to how we conduct our lives this side of eternity. The kingdom referenced here is of course God's kingdom, and speaks to our family living as ambassadors of His kingdom in our homeland, South Africa. And there we see it referenced, kingdom ambassadors as our purpose. Moving on to values, these can be defined as the standards we use in making judgments about what is important in life and what is right or wrong in human behavior. We may not agree with another person's values, but everyone lives by values. Everyone makes judgments about what is important in life through their values. From a personal perspective, the three core values we have chosen and represented here include knowledge, being the equipping of oneself with understanding, skills, and wisdom. The second one being self-discipline, and there is hardly a better way to love oneself and consequently others than by possessing self-discipline. And thirdly, perseverance, which is likely the most critical ingredient in achieving anything admirable, excellent, or praiseworthy. And these are represented by a book for knowledge, by an athlete for self-discipline, and by a person pushing a very heavy object uphill for perseverance. From a virtues perspective, these can be defined as the personal character traits that embody and express values that are judged desirable, good, or admirable. A virtue is a good value lived, and defines the ethical character of a person. From a personal perspective, our three core virtues chosen and represented here include faith, without which it is impossible to please God, and in combination with love, is said to be all that matters as a Christian. Secondly is hope, which relates to the hope we as Christians have in Jesus' words and promises, as well as all that we can expect after death. And thirdly is love, the greatest of all Christian virtues and the cornerstone of the two great commandments given by Christ. As represented by a person walking on water, that is faith at the top, a dove with the olive leaf, which is hope, and love, of course, being our heart. Moving on to vision, which is defined as and constitutes the coat of arms centerpiece and the linchpin on which all the other elements hinge. It is almost always associated with a picture of a promised or hoped for future state. This is the big picture, the end game goal. What values is to virtues, vision is to purpose and mission. From a personal perspective, our vision is embodied by a wild olive tree, symbolic of our family, as established by Sean and Denine's marriage in 2007. This tree is planted in South African soil and has emerged through rocks, symbolic of times of hardship and struggle, which now serves as a wall of protection against fire. The tree also symbolizes a place of restoration and fruitfulness to those who find shelter under its branches and sustenance from its fruit. The wild olive is also renowned for its longevity, and in the right environment can have a lifespan of 500 years, as is illustrated here. The foundations. These can be likened to the source or inspiration or basis for the coat of arms, specifically the vision, purpose, and mission, but not excluding the values and virtues. From a personal perspective, our foundations are referenced twice in the book of John, where in chapter 1, John describes Jesus as one who came full of grace and truth. This, in fact, is one of the only a few actual descriptions of Jesus, and seems most fitting given that Jesus' unique ability as God and man is to perfectly balance the importance of truth with the necessity of grace. Truth without grace condemns, and grace without truth compromises. But truth with grace is the gospel, the essence of our faith, as represented here in those words, obviously truth and grace. And then lastly we have the mission, which can be defined, or which one would say gives wheels to the vision and clarity to purpose. How will the vision be achieved? Through a successful mission. From a personal point of view, Matthew 6:33 reads, "But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." This promise has imparted both the faith and courage we as a family needed to embark on our road less traveled. Or said another way, to believe that following our hearts more than our heads would not end badly. On the contrary, the Lord has added these things and much more as we continue to try to seek first the kingdom and the perfect will of the King. And there we have it, the 2021 version of the Krige coat of arms, but also a template that can be used by any other Krige or non-Krige family in formulating your own coat of arms. I pray that you might find as much meaning and purpose in exploring, defining, and expressing your own heritage as I have mine. God bless.